Good evening. Today is August 28th, 2025, and the time is 6:30 p.m. I will now call the regular meeting of the ISD 191 Board of Education to order. Welcome to those of you who are in the audience here or watching online. Director Alt, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Director Chester.
Seconded.
Seconded by Director Mickelson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Tonight, our only agenda item under information is to receive reports from board members regarding board committees, appointments, and school assignments. Would anyone care to start things off?
Sure.
Director Chester?
Yes, Legislative Committee met last Tuesday to give some guidance or recommendations in terms of responding to Scale's inquiry of their priorities and that they're proposing. And that's legislative. And then 9/17 met at the beginning of the month. And there really wasn't much to report there, with the exception that Dr. Favor would love to have time on our board agenda to give an update from 9/17. So something to note.
Great. Director Hume?
I have a negotiations committee update.
Okay.
The negotiations committee has met with the BEA negotiations team 6 times on July 9th, 14th, August 5th, August 12th, August 13th, and August 20th. While we don't have a settlement yet, we do have 3 additional meetings that have been scheduled for September 18th, 23rd, and 30th. Proposals from both parties, including items that already have tentative agreements, can be found on the negotiations page of the district website at isd191.org/negotiations.
Thank you. Director Alt?
Thank you. Policy committee met last Tuesday. And of note, we have policy 206, public participation in school board meetings, both policy and regulations with protocol and practice revisions slated to begin on November 1st, pending board action, of course. Both the policy and regulations appear on tonight's agenda. And then the committee meets again on Tuesday, September 16th at 5 p.m. Here at Diamond Head. That concludes my report.
Thank you. No other reports? Okay. Now we will move to the business portion of the board meeting, starting with consent agenda. Although board action is required, it is generally unnecessary to hold discussion on these items. In the event a board member wishes to discuss an item, that item will be moved to separate consideration. Do board members wish to remove any items from the consent items? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Director Anderson.
Second.
Second by Director Hume. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. On to new business. Up first, on our agenda is to approve the district assessment plan. Presenting this evening's recommendation is Amina Oftedal, Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Welcome, Director Oftedal.
Thank you, Chair Werb, members of the board, Superintendent Daniels. It is my recommendation that the board approve the district comprehensive assessment plan. As Dr. Lowe shared at the last board meeting, it does guide us in our assessment work for the entire district, aligns with our MTSS planning, and provides not only system accountability data, but also instructional data for teachers to use as well.
Is there a motion to approve the district assessment plan?
So moved.
Moved by Director Alt.
Second.
Seconded by Director Anderson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is to consider approving the 2026-2027 board priorities. Presenting the recommendation this evening is Stacy Sovine, Executive Director of Administrative Services. Welcome.
Good evening, Chair Werb, Dr. Daniels, members of the board. Each year, as a part of our negotiated agreement with the Burnsville Education Association, we bring to you staffing retention priorities for the upcoming year. We do it in August so that it is very clear to all staff members if we were to make reductions in the spring, that these positions, specifically the criteria, the qualifying criteria, would be protected from potential ULAs. Okay, so that's why we do it in August. It gives everybody kind of a heads up. If we were to start discussing areas, everybody knows on the front end. It is my recommendation that the Board of Education approves for the 26-27 school year the proposed programming priorities and staffing retention protections and their qualifying criteria in the following areas. I will not read the table for you, but be it further resolved that staffing retention protections aligns with the District 191 strategic plan and are for traits such as unique specialized training, external certifications or licenses, language proficiency, and recruitment and retention of teachers and administrators with diverse racial and ethnic backgrounds. The staffing retention protections do not limit the board's ability to determine the programs, functions, overall budget, utilization of technology, organization structure, selection of personnel, ability to discipline, and the direction and number of personnel.
Is there a motion to approve the board priorities?
So moved.
Moved by Director Saxey,
Seconded.
second by Director Mickelson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Up next, we will now consider approval of the superintendent's goals for the 2025-2026 school year. During our board work session on August 14th, 2025, Dr. Daniels presented her proposed goals for the upcoming year, and we all had an opportunity to weigh in and share feedback. Tonight, I am presenting the final version of these goals, which were outlined in your board materials and reflect the changes and adjustments that were suggested at the work session. At this time, I move that we approve the superintendent's goals for 2025-2026 school year. Is there a second? Having had discussion on this item as well at our last board meeting, I move that we approve the board planning document as presented in the board packet materials. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Director Alt, moved by myself and seconded by Director Alt. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Up next, we are being asked to approve the casual wage scale. Presenting the recommendation this evening is Stacy Sovine, Executive Director of Administrative Services. Welcome back, Director Sovine.
Thank you, Chair Werb. Each year we go through and we approve a casual wage scale. The casual wage scale identifies different positions that are not represented by a bargaining unit and also are not full-time or part-time position, but are very much seasonal or casual by their nature. Substitutes, some types of coaching stipends, any number of type of ad hoc type of positions that may occur. Sometimes we come across different positions that have been paid year over year over year that are casual in nature that we don't have represented on the casual wage scale, so you will see those added. And the reason that we do this is to make sure that during our audits that it is clearly identified that the rate that the individual was paid is something that has been approved and it ties out. So we're not just paying people any wage that we want to pay. So with that, it is my recommendation that the Board of Education approves the proposed rates of pay for the 25-26 school year.
Is there a motion to approve the proposed casual wage scale?
So moved.
Moved by Director Hume,
Second?
Second by Director Chester. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Next, we are being asked to adopt a resolution to accept donations. Presenting the resolution this evening will be Superintendent Dr. Daniels.
Thank you, Chair Word. Before I present the resolution, I just want to say thank you to all of our community partners and the organizations that have contributed to District 191. We are so grateful for your support. And we have had an outpouring of, I would say, love and support for our students through the Brain Power and Backpack program from many individual community members, as well as local businesses and organizations. A special shout out to Pamela Hansen, Suzanne Carlblum, Gerald and Jane Kaplan, Gary and Lavonna King, Paula Nordham and James Calkins, the Target Employee Giving Program, the Ron Elementary PTO, and the Mighty Cause Foundation. We have also received investment in our schools for student school supply needs with donations in the past few weeks from the Costco wholesale store and Hidden Valley Elementary, as well as the North Star Roses, an affiliate interest group of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Therefore, it is my recommendation that the Board of Education adopt a resolution to approve and accept these donations to our district in accordance with the school board policy and Minnesota statutes, and to permit their use as designated by the donors.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution to accept donations as presented?
So moved.
Moved by Director Chester,
Seconded.
seconded by Director Mickelson. Is there any discussion? Having been moved and seconded, this resolution will require a roll call vote. So in just a second, I will ask Sarah to call the roll, and when she calls your name, please respond with either an aye if you are in favor of the resolution, or a nay if you are opposed. Sarah, will you please make the roll call?
Director Hume,
Aye.
Director Mickelson,
Aye.
Director Alt,
Aye.
Chair Werb,
Aye.
Director Chester.
Aye.
Director Anderson. Aye. Director Saxey.
This resolution was declared duly passed and adopted. Moving along, we have several policies to consider for approval. First among them will be Policy 621, Literacy and Read Act. Here to present this for approval on a first reading basis is Amina Oftedal, Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Welcome back, Director Oftedal.
As you said, Policy 621 follows the legislation and the implementation of the READ Act. Some of the significant changes in the policy include specific legislative language around dual immersion programs and using English assessments for students who are enrolled in the dual immersion programs. While we don't have that program in our district, the policy would guide us if we were to begin working in that particular programming area. Other significant changes were clarifications to specific language around the science of reading in order to provide specific definitions as we move forward around determining student interventions and curriculum materials.
Is there a motion to approve the changes to Policy 621?
So moved.
Moved by Director Mickelson, seconded by Director Anderson. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Next, we are being asked to approve on a first reading basis changes to policies 418, drug-free workplace, drug-free school, 501, school weapons policy, 503, student attendance, 515, protection and privacy of pupil records. Presenting the recommendation will be Dr. Chris Belmont, Assistant Superintendent.
Hello, good evening, Chair, Superintendent Daniels, members of the board. Our Policy Review Committee worked through all of these policies at our August 19th meeting. Policy 418, safe drug-free workplace, drug-free school. Some minor MSBA recommended changes that include protections for those registered in tribal medical programs. 501 The school weapons policy changes included some additional terminology and language around active shooter incidents, as well as reporting obligations for school district. Policy 503, student attendance. The review committee had a robust conversation about some proposed changes there. One of them, less of a conversation, was just the appeals process for families wishing to excuse their children that extend beyond the typical measures that are outlined in policy. It just delineates the principal or a designee who they can reach out to if they have to have that conversation. And then the second one was a conversation around adding policy language that families could have up to 5 days of vacation days excused within a school year, within that school calendar year, which is a little bit unusual to add that to the list. It's not necessarily in the model policy. It came out of a recommendation from our attendance handbook design team that worked all summer and really felt like we needed language that we needed some policy language around vacations. Current practice is unlimited excusal for family to call in with that, and we're really hoping that after that 5 days, that conversation can get much tighter around if that should be an excused absence. Policy 515, protection and privacy of pupil records. More just minor changes to student directory information that continues to be an ongoing conversation at the legislature. Back to you, Chair.
Is there a motion to approve the changes to these policies?
So moved.
Moved by Director Hume,
Second.
seconded by Director Saxey. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Up next, we will consider approval on a first reading basis, changes to Policy 206, public participation in school board meetings, complaints about persons at school board meetings, data privacy considerations. Presenting the recommendation this evening will be Superintendent Dr. LaTanya Daniels.
Thank you, Chair Werb. Yes, I am presenting this policy to you all. We did work through some edits to this policy, and we added specific language around when the date of change would take place, which would be in November. We also changed language around the number 2 thing, which was, giving those participants in listening sessions the option to submit their notes if they choose to submit their notes. And lastly, completing the listening session card to share if their topic has anything to do with the agenda, yes, no, or unsure. And so these are the changes that we've made, and I would like to recommend that we approve this on a first read basis.
Is there a motion to approve the Policy 206?
So moved.
Moved by Director Alt,
Second.
second by Director Hume. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Now we are being asked to approve on a first and final reading changes to the listening session guidelines for Policy 206. Presenting this recommendation is once again Superintendent Daniels.
Thank you again, Chair Werb. Yes, I'm just presenting the regulations or guidelines around our listening sessions. Again, we want to update these so we can communicate this information to the general public and our community so we can begin implementation in November.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the listening session guidelines?
So moved.
Moved by Director Chester,
Seconded.
second by Director Mickelson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. That concludes our policy approvals for the evening, and we will now move on to a couple of contracts. The first contract up for approval is an incoming contract for Inver Hills Community College. Presenting the recommendation this evening is Dr. Chris Belmont, Assistant Superintendent. Welcome back, Dr. Belmont.
Thank you, Chair. Some background knowledge on these contracts. It's an annual event to bring this to the board for consideration. As the board's aware, our concurrent enrollment agreements and our partnerships are backbones for a lot of our pathways. Just in the last year, our 191 students saved almost $1 million in tuition because of these opportunities. One of the institutions we partner with is Inver Hills Community College, so I'm therefore recommending that the Board of Education approve the Inver Hills Community College income contracts presented between Burnsville High School and the state of Minnesota, acting through its Board of Trustees of the Minnesota State Colleges and Universities on behalf of Inver Hills Community College, and authorize the superintendent of ISD 191 to execute that agreement.
Is there a motion to approve the Inver Hills Community College income contract?
So moved.
Moved by Director Anderson,
Second.
second by Director Chester. Is there any discussion? Director Alt.
Thank you, Chair Werb. More of a comment and kind of forward-looking at future reports. With the advent of the Associate of Arts degree, it would be interesting, and I'm sure this is probably already in one of the reports that will be coming forward, to understand year over year participation in college in the schools at the high school versus PSEO. I think that'd be interesting to understand.
Thank you. I believe that's present that's a feature of the annual SPA report in the spring, but it can't hurt to look at that data enough, so we'll keep making it as present as possible. So thank you.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Dr. Belmont will also be presenting our final new business item, which is another contract, this time with Dakota County Technical College.
So it's the same pretext, different institution that we're partnering with. So I just recommend that on behalf of, I recommend that the Board of Education approve the Dakota County Technical College income contracts presented between Burnsville High School and the state of Minnesota, acting through its Board of Trustees of the Minnesota State Colleges and Universities on behalf of DCTC, and authorize the superintendent of ISD 191 to execute that agreement.
Is there a motion to approve the Dakota County Technical College income contract?
So moved.
Moved by Director Saxe.
Second.
Oh, go ahead.
Whoever.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Seconded by Director Chester. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Yep. This concludes the regular portion of our business meeting. Up next on our agenda, you will note that we have 2 closed sessions. These closed sessions will be held in the HR conference room. Because we have 2 closed sessions back-to-back this evening, we want to share that between the 2 sessions, we will be moving back to an open meeting. We will be doing so because we will need to vote as a board to close the meeting for the second closed session on negotiations. For the convenience of attendees, we will not return to the dais during that time. If the public wishes to be present, they will find us in the HR conference room. We will open the doors upon completion of our first closed session to hold our vote in an open meeting. And if approved, we'll move to our second closed session, which will also be held in the HR conference room. Now at this time, is there a motion to close the meeting at this time as permitted by Minnesota Statute 13D.05 Subdivision 3 to review graduation ceremony security?
So moved.
Moved by Director Alt.
Second.
Seconded by Director Hume. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. The meeting is now closed.